Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Media Club podcast, the show where we explore new ideas, new conversations, and new people. So, today our guest is Dr. Luca. Can you tell us a bit about yourself first?
Sure, thank you very much for having me as a guest. What can I say about me? I'm your professor of marketing here, and I'm the senior lecturer and the program director of the course in marketing and advertising. I have some year of experience in academics, in teaching, in researching, in managing courses, programs, universities, schools, and so on, and over 15 years of experience as a consultant.
Okay. So, the first question is interesting for all the students. So, can you tell us a bit about your background and how your journey led you from consulting in fashion to teaching marketing and entrepreneurship?
Yeah, basically money.
Oh.
I needed to buy things and I needed money, so I chose the hardest path. Okay, beyond the jokes. So, uh, basically, I could say that I started teaching. To say the truth, it's not that I was consulting fashion and then teaching marketing. I started teaching fashion marketing. So it was very easy for me to link the two things because it was the very roots of my studies and the very roots of my teaching was fashion marketing. So teaching fashion marketing, I started consulting fashion companies. Basically, it was one common thing. From one side, it led me toward teaching, toward academics. From the other side, toward consulting. And then, of course, I had to pick only one of the two paths, and I picked academics, teaching, because this is what I like to do.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question is what first inspired you to get into marketing and the world of fashion?
Money.
Okay.
It happened to me that I studied these things a little bit. It happened to me that I was in Italy because I'm Italian. It happened that in Italy, fashion and luxury are very important sectors, fields,
Yeah.
industries. And I was studying, I was teaching these things. There was several opportunities. And the fact is that I was advised to try to work in this field because I had some knowledge and to send curricula to fashion schools. Frankly speaking, it happened. I wanted to do something else. I wanted to be a cowboy, but I cannot ride, so a horse.
So, what was the first university that you went to in that field?
Okay, in that field, let's say that it was not my first university, it was my second university. First university was basically a postgraduate program in marketing, but the very first university I was teaching fashion marketing was Polimoda in Florence. Polimoda is now one of the three best fashion schools in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, so I entered in Polimoda teaching fashion marketing in undergraduate and strategic marketing in master's program. And then for 9 years, I continued this.
Wow.
I worked at this path in Polimoda. Then when I left Polimoda, I continued teaching and working and managing programs in other fashion schools, like, for example, IFA in Paris. I was in Shanghai and others.
Okay, that's great. What was there a particular project or experience early in your career time that really shaped the way you think about business or creativity?
3.
3?
Yeah, 3. I can remember 3. 3 different steps. One was a project. It was a dissertation from one of my students, one of the most brilliant students in my life. I was the tutor of his dissertation, and this dissertation and our efforts, but especially his effort of the students, was awarded in Rome by the President of the Italian Republic with the Leonardo Prize. I was awarded because I was the tutor, and he was awarded as a student, and it was really a great a great project, a great dissertation. This guy is now Federico Salpietro, the senior brand manager of Diesel. So he did a great career, a great
Wow.
career. And the second project I remember was a project that I did for a school with some students, but it was anyways more a consultancy. It was for Alfa Romeo and so cars and Costume National. It was a co-branding project to launch a new co-branded car, Alfa Romeo and Costume National. I've learned a lot for this project. It was my very first experience in automotive. And the last one was a project from the most brilliant student I ever had in Morocco. And I remember the student was very shy, very close, very like, you wouldn't bet 5 cents on her. And she came out with this small project. It was like a midterm exam. In Morocco, I did 5 midterm exams. Every 2 weeks, students had an exam. And it was a project about Yoshi Yamamoto. Frankly speaking, I was reading this project like that. I can't believe.
So you
I mean,
really
I
liked
could
it?
not do anything better than this.
Oh. So what was like something that you really liked about her project though?
About this project especially, the way how images, colors, words communicating better than words. It was really something suggestive.
Okay, thank you. Like these were like all your students, right? And how do you help those students develop that mindset in your class?
Because you're my student, pushing them to the limits. Every day, every time, everything they do. I'm never satisfied. If you can do something, means that the next time you must do more and better.
Okay, yeah, that was a great advice too, actually. What do you think are the biggest misconceptions students have about entrepreneurship?
That entrepreneurship means to run a business or to launch a business or to manage a business. Entrepreneurship is a mindset that you apply to everything. Even what you're doing now is entrepreneurship. You are leading something. You are taking risk. You are exploring something. You are exploring something that a new experience. This is real entrepreneurship. You don't need to run a business. You can be an entrepreneur just because you go around, you wander, you're curious, you take risks to change direction. I remember one teaching from an old teacher of mine, and they said, every day when I walk to the university, I pick a different route, a different road. Sometimes I decide to turn right on this corner instead of left. This is entrepreneurial mind, to take a risk and to try something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that from our entrepreneurial thinking class. Yeah. What skills do you believe young entrepreneurs need today that maybe weren't as essential like 10 years ago?
Okay, I would say that it was always important, not only 10, but 2,000 or 4,000 years ago. Ethic of work. This is the most important thing, to develop a strong and robust and motivated ethic of work. This is, if somebody would say pick a skill and have it at the maximum, at the top possible, I would say ethic of work.
Okay. And as we know, you've already worked with several well-known fashion brands. And what makes a brand truly stand out in such a competitive industry?
Understanding customer. Talking with customer, understanding people. Understanding people. This is related to the fact that today marketing is about people and not about companies or buyer or things like that. A brand will be successful when they can create a channel of communication with people, suggesting values, suggesting possibilities, understanding the real needs, understanding the potentiality inside people. A brand, especially a fashion brand, what you put on yourself should enhance you, empower you. It's like the weapon you use when you walk in the streets. So this is important that it's communicative.
Yeah. But like, what are the main challenges that those brands, those fashion brands, are facing nowadays?
That is the same challenge that I have doing my job. That brand with their customer or me with my kids, very often we speak a very, very different language. There is some kind of incommunicability. Even me as a father with my daughter, we had these issues, this problem in past. It's difficult to communicate, very different ideas, very different languages. It wasn't like that. When I was a kid with my parents, of course, it's a period of life, but it wasn't so wide, the distance between generations. And brands today, most of famous brands, important brands, they are old. They speak like old. They try to be new, but they can't, they are not. Today, the real challenge is for those important brands comes not from their direct competitor, but from new, aggressive, talkative micro brands. This is also the scope, the core of my research today.
Okay. Um, as we know, you've met and worked with some incredible figures in fashion world, including Giorgio Armani. What did you learn from experiences like that shaped you today?
Okay, Giorgio Armani was a very short meeting, to say the truth. I have to be honest. It was random coffee in Rome during that Leonardo award I mentioned before. Okay, I could say that two examples that taught me the same thing. This short talk with Armani and a similar talk with Ferruccio Ferragamo. That was also the president of the school where I was teaching Polimoda. And I met him coming to the dissertation award, and he was crossing Florence by bicycle. He met me outside this wonderful, luxurious, gorgeous building where there was this award. He left the bicycle and, hello, okay, hi, how are you, president, and so on. I said, fine. Do you know me? Yes, of course. You pay my salary. So basically, so we started talking a little bit, and it was the outcome was the same with Armani, and both used these words that I used before: ethic of work. Oh. Remember, Armani told me, remember, if there's something that you absolutely, that I recommend you to teach your kids is ethic of work.
Oh, but like, can you like explain what is ethical work in like simple words?
Yeah, to do the best possible thing in the best possible way.
Oh, okay.
Don't do things that hide a second goal, that are somehow hurting, or causing some pain or some problem to anyone. Work in the right way. Job and entrepreneurship is not just about earning money. There are more important, sometimes more important goals in work, in life and in work. This is something that you kids told me yesterday during a scolding for misusing artificial intelligence. And I was very surprised because people had that very important skills to what is a good an entrepreneur, like generosity, being compassionate, and so on. This is part of the ethic of work.
Thank you so much. Can you share some other memorable or surprising stories from your consulting work, like throughout your life and experience?
How many days you have for this question? It would be very long. Okay, I will pick one when I met Putin in St. Petersburg. That
Really?
Yes, really, that that is now the president of Russia. It was in 1997 or 1998. I was working for UNESCO, actually. I was the general director of UNESCO in Russia. And I was there with one of my customers. I will not mention the name, but it was from Mantova in North Italy. And they was creating a new company in Russia. And at that time, Putin wasn't the president of Russia. He was something like an economic advisor for the mayor of St. Petersburg or something like that. And nothing, we was introduced and we founded this company. I was the consultant of the Italian side. And I think he was there. I didn't know who he was. I remember that when he became the president, I was there with the parents of my former wife. We saw this ceremony on television. I saw him and I said, I know him. Yeah, he signed the charter of this company called blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, are you crazy? He's the new president of Russian Federation. I know him. He even made me a gift, a bottle of vodka.
Oh my.
This is true.
Okay. So let's move on to the next topic. What advice would you give to your students that want to start their own brand or their own business, especially in a creative or fashion fields?
Work hard. This is a very difficult field. Work hard. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Be innovative. Talk with people. Understand people. Build a link. You must build bridges toward people. This is.
So
we are not selling goods. You are selling values and ideas and most important, I always say in fashion, in luxury, in branding, the most important thing, the key word is ha-ha. You must make people ha-ha. When I do something, even when I teach, I try to make people ha-ha. Usually I make people but I try to ha-ha.
Okay. So how do you see technology, especially AI, transforming marketing and branding nowadays?
It's transforming everything in a negative way.
Only in a negative way?
So far, yes. Because this is a tool that people don't know how to use. And you know, because it was a week about
the prompt, right?
Yeah. This is a problem. It's a tool. It's a great tool. It's wonderful. But if you don't know how to use it, it's not a good tool. It could be negative. And today is, in my opinion, mostly negative because people don't know how to use it. It's something that you must study, that people must study, must learn, must try. But there is some kind of laziness because it's such a wonderful thing that people feel satisfied from using, maybe in the wrong way, 1% of the tool. And this is dangerous.
Yeah, I agree with you. What do you think the next big shift in marketing will be?
I think that the next big shift in marketing is already ongoing. Marketing was the place where you put something, product, marketing, to put something on the market. Then, with the marketing 2.0, markets became conversations, dialogues, the Coventry Manifesto, Locke, and so on. And then now, markets are people. That's why I took my second PhD in economic anthropology, because markets are people, are more than conversation. It's not just about sharing things. It's about understanding people, understanding their culture, understanding the way how they satisfy their needs and their will. It's much more complex things. We are no more selling things. We are sharing values.
Okay, so do you think it's a good shift or
It's a very good shift. I like this shift when you personalize, when you humanize economy and business and so on, is always a good thing.
Okay. And if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of career advice or any advice, what would it be?
I would say to the young me, Luca, be strong.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a hard
You
one.
can make through anything. Never give up.
And what would you give, like, our generation? What kind of advice would you give us? The same
Be
thing?
strong. You can make through anything.
Okay.
But remember that the way how is study. Be the best thing that you can. Become the best version of yourself.
So basically pushing to your limits, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the positive direction, not in the
Mhm.
negative direction.
Yeah. What's one principle or value that has guided you throughout your career or life?
Hard
general.
work.
Art.
Hard
Hard
work. Hard work. Yeah. Will always pay you back.
Yeah, you're right. What keeps you motivated and inspired after so many years in different industries?
Discipline.
Discipline?
Yeah. This really helps you. Sometimes it's already, I don't know. I started working when I was 18, 17. It's a lot of years, and sometimes, you get tired. Sometimes teaching every year, not being able to avoid to transform teaching into a routine. And so you need motivation. And when motivation fails, discipline will save you. To
Yeah.
stay motivated, to stay focused, and so on.
And we also know that you've been like studying throughout your whole life.
Yeah.
And like, do you not get tired of like studying and applying to like universities like over and over?
No, I'm a nerd. I like studying.
Yeah.
I really like studying.
Because when I was hearing like the universities that you studied, I was like feeling shocked. Like he was studying like his whole life.
Yeah.
And like that actually kind of like scared me, if to be honest, that I have to also like study my whole life.
No,
Because
you don't think like studying for all your life. Think this like learning
yeah.
for all your life. You don't need to go to school to learn. You can learn in many different ways. Okay, I decided that I like to stay in school, to be an academic and to make research and so on. So I study. But the focus is not on studying, it's on learning.
Yeah. To like look to it from a different perspective, right?
Yeah.
If you had to describe the future of marketing in one word, what would it be?
A feature of marketing in one word,
Yeah.
I would say value.
Okay.
Value.
So
Okay, of course, a feature. Building value,
building
not
value.
just a monetary value. I mean, this is about building an emotional value. Look, €1, €1.50, the price, the value, €15.
Yeah, now it made sense. What's next for you? Any exciting projects or goals that you're working on? Like what you have, like for the next year, maybe your plans?
If they don't kick me out this university because I'm a bad person and too much strict, is to stay here for 2 more years. I mean, this is the short-term goal because I want to see my kids graduating.
Yeah,
And
you have to,
Yeah.
you were like my first professor from the very start.
Okay, so
Yeah.
basically this is the the battle plan. Now I'm working very much on research. I want to publish in the next, I think in next year, I want to publish a couple of very good, very tough paper, and okay, something very philosophical. I want to continue improving myself to become the best version of myself. I know that is difficult because I'm already wonderful.
Oh, okay.
I will try.
Like, if you had the chance, would you want to stay like for more time, for more years here in Kazakhstan, in Coventry? Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I like living in Astana.
oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you like it like so far here in Astana, in Kazakhstan?
I feel like at home, frankly speaking. It's a very easy city to live. As you know, I speak a little bit the language, so Russian, so I can understand, I can be understood, and yeah, it's a nice place. It's not the best place in the world, but okay, my dream is to come back to live in the East, in China, in Japan, Hong Kong, Thailand. This is my place. This is the place where I focus my research and so on. But Kazakhstan is amazingly positive for me.
Oh.
People are kind. Students are lazy. This is another kind of students are lazy everywhere. So.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to hear that. And I have to like ask one more question. Like,
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like personally, have you tried horse meat so far here in Kazakhstan?
I was born in a place in Italy where every single day my mother feeded me with horse meat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where I was born, it was very close to this beautiful part in the very north of Italy on the border with Switzerland. And the popular dish over there is kind of ham made from horse, originally made from horse, called bresaola. And when I was a kid, I ate bresaola like every day. Now it's difficult to find this food, this ham made from horse. Usually they made from beef. But I remember how much I loved. I grew my daughter eating horse meat at least 3 times per day.
Oh.
So yes, if you are planning a dinner with your professor, please, horse meat. It's fine.
We will take that on a note. Yeah. So I think that's it for today. Thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing your ideas, your experience with us. We're very happy that you supported us. It means a lot. And lastly, we have also this present for you. So it's basically a hat, so you would keep warm and nice. It's from
Thank you
our
very much.
media club and podcast club. Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me as a guest. It was my pleasure and an honor to help you.
So that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. Yeah.